beginning of this year. You have all received the agenda. You have received the attachments that belongs to the agenda. And one of the, let me ask if did everybody receive the agenda? You receive the attachment, you take the attachment and study. If the answer is not everybody has received it, then I can try to put it on the platform. So if everybody have it, it's not necessary. Let me see. I didn't see that our Dr. Ben Yehuda has received the agenda. Otherwise, I would ask him to look in his email, because I did a research this morning and I don't think that I missed someone. Let's see, are everybody in? Okay, anyway, let me see the invitation. That is the invitation. I will try to share it with you so that you, let me see, it is the, I think, did you see the invitation?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What the invitation, I have to put it in full. But anyway, I think that you are seeing the invitation. I'm now busy to look how I can, let me put it in full. So what the invitation said, in fact, follow up to the pre-announcement letter. I hereby fulfill the honorable duty to confirm the gathering that will be held on November 23rd, 2025. You are cordially invited to this pivotal gathering of the AU EDS High Council. Our collective journey towards realizing the mandate of the African Union, African Diaspora, is at a critical juncture. The vision of a unified and empowered six-region demands a structure that is resilient, effective, and capable of delivering tangible results, as was discussed during the previous gathering. The gathering has been convened to address pressing challenges that have impeded our progress, and to collectively endorse a forward-looking commission-based operational model as was decided and enshrined in the High Council Constitution. So this is not quite new. What is new is the model to prioritize the work of the position and over the position, ensuring our mission is driven by collective action rather than individual capacity. The proposed structure establishes two dedicated working bodies with clear mandates to advance our core objectives: the Commission for Institutional Development and Transition Management, the Commission for Diaspora Projects and Operational Execution. I'm sorry, my Dutch prevent me for making mistake with the pronunciation. This restructuring directly addresses the two parallel challenges we currently face. Leadership vacuum, creating a system resilient to individual absences. Project paralysis and blocking critical initiatives, most notable the Capacity Building and Skills Development Center, which is a cornerstone of our mission. So, wait a minute, yes.
Recording in progress.
That's why we propose an agenda. Opening and we propose this agenda. And I hope that you agree with this agenda. So let me first ask you, do you agree with this agenda that we are going to discuss today? Opening welcome reflection on our mandate, presentation of current challenges, a candid assessment, unveiling the proposed commission-driven based restructuring model, collective deliberation and amendment of PROS model, discussion on the implementation of the African Diaspora Development Agency, addressing the financial position of the organization, motion for adoption and next step, closing remarks. So, do you agree with this agenda so that we can adopt this agenda?
Yes.
Is there someone who would like to add a point to this agenda?
Mrs. Barrel, Mr.
Yes.
I am just receiving the news about the resignation. Maybe I've missed past meetings. Maybe it's a long time. Would it be possible to share information, if it's not confidential, about this this resignation?
Yes, it will come at let me see one of the attachment that you are now referring to. It is not a resignation with regards that he dropped out, but the term of his presidency was over, so that
okay.
We were in a circumstance to look for another
I understand.
And this is Dr. Lasare.
Yes.
Let me remind you that you receive information about this, but maybe you oversee it. Okay, so nobody.
Yes, Dr. Beekman. Yeah, I motion that we accept the agenda.
Okay, fine. So then we go now to the opening and welcome. Who I can give the opportunity to give some words, prayers. Sister Modi, I don't know if you are.
I am here.
Please give him some strength words.
Yes.
For this meeting.
Yes, sorry. I'll be giving the libation. And as you know, excuse me if you hear some back noise, because today is the day for women rights defenders protest here in Belgium. Hence, I'm following this meeting from the outside. What I would say, calling our ancestors to bless us, first of all, today, because we are facing very hard time nowadays all over the world, to bless us with a clear mind, a clear objective, a clear action driven reflection in this meeting today that will enable us to come up strong with volunteer to be action oriented within our organization that is becoming more and more crucial in terms of its the reason for existing. We ask forgiveness to our ancestors for our frustration, misunderstanding, sometimes tension, but I know they will oblige us. And out of the love that we have for all together, for ourselves, for our families, for our people, for organization, and for our communities that are at heart in the work that we are all doing here. So with these words, I really convey and confirm that ancestors have blessed us to open this meeting with success. I'll be following, maybe dropping some messages, but have a good session. Thank you. Ashe.
Hashay. Is there someone who would like to add some words to this introduction prayer? Nobody? So then I wish us a successful meeting. And there are, in fact, two people, let me say, Professor Mendo, who assist in looking to reflect on the mandate of our organization, and also to reflect on the 2 years behind us, and also reflect on various positions of our organization and the mandates. For instance, to the mandate to the facilitators, and then we realize that it is time that we be honest to each other and reflect on our own position, the way we function, the way we experience the mandate, and the way we fulfill the task that was given to us via terms of reference. So what we were looking for, and first of all, our philosophy on which we started, the vision that we had was a Ubuntu connected one, a Pan-African one. And when I speak about the Ubuntu connected one, I speak about the consciousness that I can only function, I can only deliver if the people surround me who have some roles and responsibility are functional well. So that's why I can speak maybe about myself, that I cannot function if the people who have certain mandates are not delivering, so that we can show the chain of the Ubuntu connection. Therefore it was time that we be honest to each other, look at each other and say to each other, yes, we could do better. And when I say we could do better after 2 years, because our organization was 70 years, we tried to put a model, a structure together so that people can see our Ubuntu connected approach by involving, integrating, included all the regions. Because as we know, the African Union, for instance, they think that the CARICOM sovereign states are inclusive with regards to all the regions. That's why we have seen, for instance, events like the African Union and the CARICOM summits, for instance. Everything, if you go to the roadmaps, you will find always African Union and CARICOM. You will find also that CARICOM is in the leading mode when it concerns, for instance, issues that has to do with reparatory justice, issues that has to do with Article 3Q, the implementation of Article 3Q of the Constitutive Act of the African Union. So within 2 years, we try also to realize the accreditation. Now, to receive the accreditation from the African Union, we have done a lot to convince the African Union that we are an all-included mechanism, by also attending meetings without any finance. People dedicate themselves and pay their own expenses to travel to all these meetings. We are receiving information from the African Union. For instance, now we receive an invitation to go to Brussels. We receive an invitation to go to Algeria, to go to Senegal, to go to South Africa, because they recognize us. But when it concerns to accreditation, we have to, you can say, creep on our knees to receive that goal. So, and therefore, it's very important that we can show the data. For instance, and I will give you the opportunity to respond. If we have a facilitator, for instance, for the United States of America, you can assure that we select this person, Brother Sheldon. We select him on basis of his profile. We were hoping that when we, after 2 years at least, we hear about co-facilitators in the various cities or states of the United States. If we go, for instance, to Africa, we were hoping that in the ECOWAS region or in the SADC region, we should receive information about or data about the people who they selected to facilitate in the different countries. When we talk about ECOWAS, we know a lot of countries. When we talk, for instance, to Asia, luckily we have the several countries, important countries like China, Japan, India, Pakistan, where the majority of the diaspora is seated. The same as Australia, Europe, the same. Caribbean, the same. So, because that was the mandate. The Rastafarian, we were hoping, are still hoping, because we know that they are busy to integrate the Rastafarian organizations from different, you can say, Caribbean, or let me take the global. We were hoping that we had a list at least today after 2 years. And so I can continue with this I can say how you call it, experience, and we think that it is very important then to hear from you what are the problems. We reflect on the mandate, so that when we go to a new phase, with a new model that we want to present later, that we know at least what is going on. I'm not talking about Latin America, because I know that great work have done there. If we ask Professor Adley, then he can show us all the names of the various countries, and that is exactly what it's supposed to be. If we look at the website is for you. The website is for me, and is also for you. That means that we expect periodical information, so that people, the diaspora in your region, can see what are happening in the region. If I call, for instance, the Dutch Caribbean, we have a facilitator, and until today, we don't have the names of the facilitators in these countries. So I think that the success is, my success is not only restricted to your delivering. Your delivering is also connected with, for instance, what we have, of the secretariat are doing. And if the secretariat is not function, then if the financial department is not function as it should be, then we have to look also for opportunities to how we can be more successful. If we have a lot of projects, that's why we also invite Dr. Chicheni. Very good projects, and we know, everybody knows that we have done our best. We have done our best in the direction of the African Development Bank Group. And when we are there, then what we hear is that the African Development Bank Group is not for the diaspora outside the region. So these are all things that we have to take in consideration when we reflect. We have, for instance, in Ghana, we have our Dr. Nkrumah. And Dr. Nkrumah is very important for the accreditation of the African Union. Like we have, for instance, also our new delegates from Ethiopia. Very important, because in Ethiopia the African Union is reseated, and we have Ghana, where the Ghana president and the Ghana director of Diaspora is involved in the issue of the diaspora reparatory justice claims. So I give you, I look at the hands, and I will give you the floor to give a reflection of what is all about with your the implementation of your mandate. So maybe I can start. Maybe you can. Yeah, I'm looking to. Okay. Also, Europe. I'm in Europe, but I have another position. And we have the European Union and we have Europe. We also don't see yet something is happening, in the sense that we can say, okay, in Europe we have these and these people. For instance, if you look at the European Union, we have some countries with many diaspora from different natures. We have the European Union, with different countries, with many diaspora from different natures. So I look at the hands. Let me give, for instance, if I don't see hands, do I see hands, please? Because I have this, I don't know how to put it down. But anyway, can I give the floor to, for instance, Dr. Michael Nkrumah?
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I trust we are all doing well. It's a beautiful day in Ghana, and I send my greetings from Ghana. And I believe you are all doing well wherever you are. Dr. Bickman, thank you very much for the nice introduction. We're looking forward to all the meetings, and whatever that you need for us to do, we will be available for you and for the service of our organization. So I stand ready, and whatever that's needed, kindly let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nkrumah. But can you give us some information about the mandate, how you experience the mandate, because it's very important that we learn from that. For instance, I hope that people know that you are the grand-nephew from our Honorable Nkrumah, who was the first in the line to make sure that Africa in this regards, the Ghana become independent as one of the first countries. So your ancestors has to do with this. So what is the problem? Because if you look at ECOWAS, I hope that you take it in that perspective. If you look at ECOWAS, then we realize that ECOWAS has more countries than only Ghana. What is the problem? What was the problem that you couldn't realize more countries in your data?
Thank you very much, Dr. Bickman. I believe that it's all about the mobilization. There are several other Pan-African and also diasporan organizations out there that I think we need to really coordinate well so that we can have a very good database. I think what we are missing is how to connect all the dots together so that we can be speaking the same language and have the same direction. What I see here, especially in Ghana, is even multiple diasporan, groups that are all forming here and there, and there is not kind of like a unison. I believe that we need to have a more solid database and also a more solid direction for all the diaspora network. At least in Ghana here, the president has set up an office of the diaspora affairs right in his office at the office of the president. And my own brother, who is now in charge of the diaspora affairs, there are a lot going on daily basis or weekly basis. We receive different sectors of people doing this, doing that. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, we cannot all be one in terms of being under one umbrella, but I think it'd be very good if we can have one big forum that can bring all of us together, and at least we get to know what each organization is doing and how we can all work together to attain the vision that we want to have for Africa and also for ourselves. I mean, in terms of development, we need to be. I mean, it's all about the focus. It's all about the focus. I mean, what is this group doing? What's the focus of this group? What's the focus of this group? And then once we know each focus, so we know how we can specialize and do things properly. So my whole thing is that we need more of I don't know whether ADS can fill that gap to be maybe the mother organization that links all these various sectors together so that we can be stronger as a group. I think we are too separated. That's my opinion.
Okay, so what I want to add to this for the others is that the African Union 6 region is not a solemn organization. It is a regional high council that deals in the first place with regions. For instance, you have the ECOWAS region, and with countries. For instance, the countries in your region, and to promote the AUEDS to this council, these co-councils in the several countries, and including the country responsibility are the organizations. So we are the only organization with a regional and a country perspective, and the organizations that are in your country, in Nigeria, in the country of Nigeria, and other countries in the ECOWAS, that is fine. Because when you have the data of all these organizations, it's not a problem because you have the data and you know what the organizations are doing. And we are a kind of umbrella, a high council to the African Union to speak as a sovereign state. Look, we don't have an army, we don't have a palace, for instance, but we are the civil society of whom has getting the invitation from the African Union. The African Union 6th region, Diaspora, is a diaspora integration. They integrate the diaspora. They didn't integrate sovereign states. But because the African Union is a sovereign state, the African Union they feel safe to deal with the sovereign states. That's why they deal with CARICOM. But we can show that we are a sovereign civil society state. Sovereign civil society state. That's why we built this high council function as a government. The high council is a government structure and that fulfill the criteria as a government. So that is very important. It doesn't matter if you have 100 organizations that has some, let me say, some a role in the sphere of the diaspora. It doesn't matter if you have the data, and you can have the data of the other countries for co-facilitators, then you are good, because that is your core value. That is the added value of our organization. So I hope that you can take this in consideration, so that people understand that it doesn't matter if you have 100,000 organizations in your country, and if you know that the other facilitators in the other countries of the ECO was a region, then you can that is your success. That is your added value. That is our added value to the African Union, that we can show them that over the whole world, all the regions, we have this information and we can mobilize and organize the people. Let me go to Brother Sheldon. Brother Sheldon, thank you. I hope that I brought some clarification for you, Dr. Michael. Let me go to Brother Sheldon. Let me hear from him.
All right, thanks, madam. Thank you very much.
Yes. Good morning. Good afternoon. What are we looking to address? I mean, as far as the agenda goes, there's several things that we need to address as the High Council for the 6th region. Give me 1 second. Sorry, got some notes here.
It's okay. Take your time.
Yeah, so let's see. So if we're looking, I think one of the issues is we need to create, one of the main issues is a leadership vacuum, correct? We're lacking, we're lacking a pipeline of young people, of young leaders to come in and be able to fulfill the voids that are often left when people have to leave or are not living up to their position. So this is something that we need to create. We need to, I know we have clear roles and authorities, but we also, I think we need to just work on organization, where we're going, what it is we're doing and who we're doing it with. So that's the short and sweet of it. I think there are some things that we could do, but I think it takes kind of like a review of how we operate and updating that and improving it. That's all I have to say right now.
Okay, I hope, thank you, Brother Sheldon. Because when I mention the United States of America, I know what is in the terms of reference, and it's same that I explained to Dr. Michael. Is the same with the United States of America. And we split the North America region in the United States of America, Mexico, and Canada, because I think that it was a too broad mandate. So I hope that you understand that. And concerning the youth, I think that we have Dr. Mendo will explain how we talk about the youth issue. Because what we said...
So Dr. Beekman, I don't mean to cut you off, but like one thing I would like to note is like, so I have, I'm also the co-chair of the Permanent Forum for People of Africa, the International Society Working Group for the Permanent Forum for People. That organization, which I believe you met Dr. Amara a few months ago. You guys were on a panel together. She's my other co-chair. We have over 1,600 members. We also have a youth component of that organization that has 1,500 members. I attempted to reach out to other members of the African Union High Council here to work with them on something, on a youth summit at the last Permanent Forum. And I've received no feedback, nothing in regards to working on that project. And so I had to let my youth know that, like, I'm still kind of waiting for them to get back to me. One of them did say that they were in touch with the youth coordinator, but it's communication gaps like that. If we're going to be unified and work together, like, we need to be more open with communication and understand that, like, feedback is important. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you, Brother Challen, because we have to move to others. Look, the issue is this. In the terms of reference of a facilitator, there are two things to do. The one is to set up the region. And when you set up the region, means that you identify facilitators for the, first of all, you look at the region, what is my jurisdiction? And that is the United States of America, for instance. Then you start with how many countries, of how many countries the USA exists. Then, for instance, if you came, for instance, let me, the state, how many states? First the states, because the states are like a country. How many states? And then I can imagine that you have, because when we select you, we look at your CV and you were the right person to do this. For instance, if you have USA, then you have a states coordinators, the network of states coordinators. Because as far concerned the youth, in every state office, we expect that there's an intersectional approach. That means women and youth, elder, women and youth. Commissions on the various topics like education, economy, and name it. If you look at the Agenda 2063 of the African Union, you can take the necessary issues of that and also projects. So that is separate to our mandate. I have also a mandate. I'm an observer in the United Nations as far concerned the issue of people of African descent. But I have another duty as far concerned the African Union 6 region. So I understand you, but when we talk in the African Union 6 region sphere of mandate and youth or women or elder people or projects, it is in the context of the Constitution and the statutes. So let me go to Professor Atlee Hall. Let me look how he did it. He is doing it. Please, Professor Hall, can you give us, or you can say, an update, reflect on what you should have delivered?
Yes, greetings to all. Okay. Indeed, it's not been that easy to connect to all the region. Okay. We have some kind of communication gaps in and between. But by the way, we are a part of different movements. So we got the contracts in several of the countries. For example, all 8+ countries in Central America, we have a network between CABO, which is the Black Central American Organization, okay? And we have been working with youth, women's, and we have a directive board of the organizations that is compounded of over 30 organizations in the different countries, including our diaspora in the United States. Okay, so we've been working on that basis. Away from that, newly we began organizing council, national councils. For example, here in Costa Rica, organizing our Costa Rica Council. And we are including leaders of the different organizations in Costa Rica. For example, the UNIA, the African Foundation. We have been including we have a parliament, we have a civil parliament, we're including those leaders, that we can have a council of the diaspora and the African descendant organization in the country. And we are spreading that structure to the other countries in Latin America. That's what we've been doing. So that we can have a concern as a worldwide manager. We have been connected with SRDC, and including we have we're pushing a project with Liberia from this region with Liberia. So that's what we've been doing.
Are you finished? So, because what I want to know, so if you look at Latin America, excluding Brazil, we see a lot of countries, for instance, Bolivia, Venezuela, Costa Rica, Colombia, Argentina, all these countries, the Spanish, Portuguese, Spanish, French countries. So these are countries. So you have You have state co-facilitators, and these co-facilitators, they have information about the diaspora organizations and also with regards to the specific problems in Latin America. If I speak, for instance, about the specific problems, I speak about, for instance, land rights. Now we have the issue of Trump and Venezuela. These are issues, for instance, that you see a lot of people are talking about, but we have you who give us information about what it means to be a people in this country. What do you want me to do? How do you want the African Union to respond on that? And of course, the project with Liberia. I know the project with Liberia. This project is now for 10 years, and you know that I know how it functions.
Yeah.
You know that I know how it functions, and you know that it is not a specific AU EDS project. So, but I can imagine that you are mentioning it because it has some. So I hope that you understand what we mean, and I know that you have for the states co-facilitators. But in this case, I should say, continue to do the good things. But as you know, at least that we are behind you with the very difficult tasks that you have there in Latin America. And I hope too that you include the Rastafarian for the meeting that should take place in Panama. Because when I talk about Panama, I talk about the basic of our Rastafarian movement. So I hope that it is understandable and that you understand. So let me go now to and everybody on this platform today realize that we are recording the issues that you are bringing forward, and so that we know where the problems are, where the misunderstanding is. That our organization is not a solemn organization, but it is a regional. It is a global, regional, country-based organization driven, community-driven mechanism. I will go to Sister Shirley Keynes from Dutch Caribbean. How comes, Sister Shirley, that until today we don't know the co-facilitators in the Dutch Caribbean? I speak about 3 countries and 3 Caribbean Dutch.
Grand Rising, everyone. We have been reaching to the other islands to get on the platform, but unfortunately, due to the suppression of the Dutch, the other smaller islands are scared to participate. Also here on the island, due to the chaos that the states have bought the warships, because we are at the forefront, we can see Venezuela actually if it's a clear day, so it's just like 15 minutes. There's a lot of unrest and uncertainty. The government on this island does not take it, or their silence, let me put it in that way, that we do not have information what is really going on. Our information is practically coming from the social network. So here is a bit chaotic, to be very sincere, and the community are scared. As from the past, families has originated from Venezuela and Colombia and has made homes on this island. So originally they are part of the community also. So for here, it's very chaotic, even though it's downplayed by the government. They do not tell us anything. They do not report. Also, we find it very strange that a few months backwards, that Trump visited and stayed at the palace from the king in the Dutch in the Netherlands. So we find it very strange that they are given permission, because you cannot just come in the waters and just, create chaos without any evidence to sustain what is being done. So this is what's going on our side of the island. And also in regards to being a member, I'm not getting through. I've contacted several parties on different islands, but due to the stance and due to that, the Netherlands has such a hold on the other islands that they are scared to participate. I hope I have addressed this sufficiently.
Yes, of course we know about this problem, but that is the African Union being for. The African Union 6th Region High Council, that these are the problems that we can say, for instance, to the African Union 6th Region, please consider that we have a diaspora that are suffering under this kind of geopolitics. What is your answer? And that is why we are now with each other. That if your problem is also our problem, because what we want to see is that they not only listen, for instance, to CARICOM, CARICOM leaders, have meeting with close CARICOM leaders, without we did a kind of analysis what our organization, for instance, in the Middle East are suffering for, in Dutch Caribbean are suffering for, in Latin America are suffering for, the Rastafarian are suffering for, in Ethiopia they are suffering for. That is why we are established. That is why we are established. So
I did send a letter that to the government, to the new established government, that I am the facilitator, but once again, they do not reply to our emails. We are being suppressed and ignored, to put it very clear.
I'm happy to hear this, because that is why we will hear more later from our Professor Mendo, how we can continue, but it's very important that we listen to you, listen to what are the problems. Like Brother Sheldon say, okay, I have 100 youth, they want to do something, and we have to respond on that. It will be fine if we can know, for instance, the 100 youth and what states they are, and maybe they can take leadership on our to institutionalize the mandate that Brother Sheldon has received, because 100 is a great amount. And thank you once more, Brother Sheldon, and thank you, Sister Shirley. Your concern is our concern. Remember that. And if the other islands, let me don't say islands, the Caribbean Dutch lands, if they recognize the African Union 6th Region as important, because we are making progress, we are organized, we have the networks to bring their story on the right table. So thank you, Sister Shirley. We will continue. Then I go to Dr. Casriel. Dr. Casriel, Middle East exists of more countries. Can you explain to us what you are doing and what the problems are, so that we can take these problems also in consideration when go to a new phase?
All right. You can hear me, my sister.
We can hear you very well.
Thank you. Thank you. My divine sister and friends, Dr. Beryl Beckman and the members of the High Council. I'm always honored be a part of these forums because of the diversity in the wisdom and understanding that we bring from the different parts of the world that we represent. And I always give honor to the creator, the source of all, life and wealth and prosperity. And always thankful for my dear friend, Sister Dr. Barrow, for continuing the vision of the 6-region Diaspora Initiative. The Middle East is quite naturally one of the most complicated regions that we exist in. First of all, because in the geopolitical structure, the Africans here have been buried under, religious supremacy. The ideal here, the main subject and issue that's addressed in the Middle East quite naturally is the Arab-Israel or the Arab-Jewish conflict. But there are hundreds of thousands of African diaspora who are in the Middle East who are unforgotten. And it's been our initiative and task is to bring this African constituency more to the forefront of the African agenda. What are we doing here? And I'm gonna frame this not just as what we're doing here, but I think it could help us in the overall progression of our movement. And that is, people must know what we're doing. One of the brothers said earlier about the idea of bringing more people into it. I understand, but I think Dr. Barrow addressed it very accurately. It's not about numbers; it's about the value and the precision that we operate under, and the protocols that make us more effective. So, but the point is, one of the things that I've been doing is organizing forums to introduce to the African diaspora here about the 6th region. Israel, where I'm based, the main African diaspora communities here, I think the largest is the Afro-Bedouin community. These are Africans who have been in this part of the world, been in the Middle East for centuries. In fact, they understand that Israel is actually a part of northeastern Africa. The only thing that divides Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Saudi Arabia, the only thing that divides the continent of the so-called Middle East and the continent of Africa is the Suez Canal. That's a man-made waterway that geopolitical institutions acknowledged as a means of separating Israel in the Middle East from Africa. But historians who are well abreast, they know that the history of the Middle East, the history of Islam, the history of Christianity, the history of Judaism are all African historical experiences. And so then you have the African Bedouins are the Africans who are up under the Islamic religion. And then you have the Ghanaian community here. Then you have the Nigerian community and the Eritrean and the Ethiopian community. And so it's very vast, it's very diverse, but we have been able to have town hall meetings and bring these different communities together, and we've had great responses. Just recently, we hosted what was called the State of the World Forum. and we invited Dr. Barrow in to give an update to the delegates on the sixth region initiative. And we have another one planned at the end of next month, Dr. Barrow. I haven't sent you the invitation yet, but we're going to ask you to speak again. And this is at a town hall meeting. It's called the Afro-Israel Town Hall Gathering. And we're going to bring the leaders in from these different African communities and have you address them. And I'm saying that because that's what we all should be doing. It's not volume. It's getting people into small groups. If it's 10, if it's 15 people, we have to bring people in, and we have to allow and give the opportunity for the spokespersons of our movement to explain what the African Sixth Region is. No other initiative that is taking place in the world is as important as what you are doing. To re-establish, reconnect the diaspora back to Africa would be the paradigm shifting dynamic to change the world. We all know that Africa is the future of the planet, but the diaspora is critical for Africa's role in the future. Africa needs its diaspora back, and the diaspora need Africa back. That union will change the world. So what we're doing, Dr. Barrow and others, we're working on the philosophy of the movement. See, the community that I'm a part of, the Hebrew Israelites in Dimona, we put a lot of our emphasis on intellectualism, intellectual development, philosophical visionaries, because ideas inspire. And what the African diaspora needs is inspiration, reinvigoration, regeneration. They need a new spirit. That's what's needed. We need a new vision. Pan-Africanism as a global philosophical institution has diminished. It does not have the capacity as it's being projected today to make the changes that we need, especially with our youth. I'm not going to be long. I'll say this and I'll be finished. I did a study recently on the African Union, and I went all the way back to 1956 when they held the All People's Congress. I think it was All People's Congress of Africa. May be wrong with the exact theme, but it was when all of the first independent African countries came together in Ghana under His Excellency Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta. All the great African leaders came together and they established the original, or what could be called the original Pan-African vision. You can Google this and you can look at the preamble. You can look at the outcome of that meeting, what they desire to accomplish in terms of a united Africa, independent of European influences, et cetera, et cetera. And then I looked at the establishment of the OAU, which was the next major initiative that came out of the All People's Conference. It's the same principles, the same visions, the same initiatives. And you can see that nothing had really happened in terms of success from the All People's Conference to the OAU. And then I looked at the AU, 2001, when they established a new agenda that was supposed to bring success to the OAU and the All People's Conference. And if you look at their agenda, their outcomes, it's the same things, the same problems. Nothing had developed, nothing had moved. And so now when you look at the agenda, I think it's 2063, And this is supposed to be the agenda that's going to bring Africa back to its former glory and majesty. The same principles, the same objectives, the same conversation. Why is nothing moving? Because the philosophy isn't progressing. Dr. Barrow always opens up with the phrase Ubuntu strong. Ubuntu is part of the philosophical anchoring that could bring the change to Pan-Africanism. But we need our scholars, our intellectuals to help us develop the metaphysics of what Ubuntu really means. When we say I am because we are, that means in Pan-Africanism, in the deep metaphysical sense of the Ubuntu philosophy, there are no terms as me and I. It's only we and us. And imagine if we can begin to build a new philosophy where we really understand that I can only exist through your existence. Our economics would change, our behavior would change, our protocols would change, our values would change. So that's what we're doing here, Dr. Barrow. We're working on the philosophy of what was called Pan-Africanism, and we're trying to dig deeper into these indigenous knowledge systems, these indigenous knowledge philosophies, because what we need are new visions and new ideas. And I think that the initiatives that we're putting forth here, one of the great things that we have to our advantage is the diversity that Dr. Barrow and others have been able to assemble. We represent a very large volume of African minds. And so we're really at the threshold of one of the greatest and momentous periods of African history, because we're having this conversation, we're having this meeting. And so I'm inspired, and like my brother said earlier, I'm at your service. And whatever I can do to keep the momentum moving forward, praise you all. Praise the Creator. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Casriel. I think that everybody is very inspired of your intellectual contribution and to the mission and vision of our region, because you are right. The Ubuntu connection philosophy, in the Netherlands, I propose that we go to another kind of world order or nation building order, and I call it Ubuntu liberalism. Ubuntu liberalism. And that is what I put now on the table, that they consider. That is far more in the sense of the transformative justice, in the sense of, the capitalism, geopolitical, put more accent on this difference. And I'm still struggling, because people are asking, what are you talking about? Ubuntu liberalism. When I show the connection with South Africa, after the apartheid system dismantled, and I show them our Ubuntu-nomics, philosophy, they think that I'm crazy, but that is what we need now in our organization. People in a commission that look at a new kind of world global order to bring in our organization. And I think that what you have presented just is a kind of eye-opener how great we are, how good we are, and how we can make these global changes. And so thank you, and I looking forward on the mission there in Middle East. I know that it is not easy, but if we can show the African Union that, look, we have also people in Middle East who are thinking about, a new kind of philosophy to implement, for instance, Agenda 2063, then I think that this will help, that they are going to believe in us. Let me see the time. It was 2. I will give the floor to Sister Empress to give her opinion, and then we have other people on the line. We have, for instance, our secretariat, our steering committee. We have Professor Lassar. We have Chicheni in perspective of projects. One is the Capacity Building Institute and other projects, Chicheni. Then I will give them the floor, and then, of course, we have our financial unity, because if we are not function on regional level, on state level, we don't mobilize, members to pay at least $1 or €1 in amount. We will not have money, and if we are not accredited, the big multilateral organization will not give us money, give funds. So all these things are integrated in the way we are function with our success, so that there will become more belief in that yes, this is the answer for the Agenda 63. So if I give Sister Empress to give us an update about the Rastafari and how we are going to more to integrate them. It is not an organization, world organization. African Union 6 region has a database of all these organizations who believes in the African Union 6 region, that they can be an added value to their mission, their objectives, blah, 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 blah.
Tenastel and greetings, all the members of the High Council. I do give thanks unto the Most High Rastafari again and again for giving me the opportunity to meet with all and share our updates. The Rastafari global community is in a high expectative of all the advance what made our organization, because in all the countries the Rastafari perspective is the same. We have this struggle of recognition of our identity and our rights, our cultural identity, our ancestral identity. And we right now here in Panama make a view about the importance of the work of this High Council. We share with our brothers in Jamaica, first because everything was going on in Rastafari nation, including Africa, is known in Jamaica, and we work with the Rastafari Asian Council. So for us, right now is a moment what we try to introduce more members in the knowledge about what it is, the function of the High Council. We have a lot of advance in our Afro-Panamanian community, because I am an Afro-Panamanian leader. So other works what the Rastafari community made here in Panama is involved with the Afro-Panamanian leaders. So we keep the voice for our Afro-Panamanian people here about the High Council and putting together with the work of the Rastafari community and the Rastafari nations. Give thanks.
Thank you, Sister Empress. And I know sure that you, with Professor Hall, you are working together. So, yes, we count on you. So there are more people on the line, but that has also to do with the presentation of Dr. Mendo. So, Dr. Mendo, are you there? We go to the next point, and that is having this information of you all. We understand the challenges, also the problems that you are facing, and we believe in the continuation. So, Dr. Oliver, are you?
Yeah. Yes, I'm there. So you mean I can share the?
Yeah.
I can share about the next point, right?
Yes, and it's very important to take the vision with regards to the youth and projects. And Dr. Lassar is also here from the Capacity Building Institute. So
Okay.
please, we are listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Can I share my screen, because I think
I have to give you how you say I have to share the screen with you.
I want to share a document actually, so that people see, you know what.
Okay,
what
I
I'm
make you
about.
no host.
Okay, so that I can share the screen too.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, bear with me for a while. All right, share the screen. Okay. Okay, perfect. Can you see the screen?
I see the screen. Did everybody see the screen?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I hope it's big enough. So let me start off with briefly with what is happening in Asia. In Asia, meaning China, Japan, also we have India. I think for us here, things are quite okay. We do have a lot of events that is going on. We just had a couple events in Japan, in China too. I think our main concern here is communication about among one another, because it is still difficult for us to interact with our sister from India, the coordinator from India, to also see how we can better coordinate. We can better coordinate organizing event, and as you guys said, look on one another anyway. So this is our main concern here in Asia, how we can better interact and how we can better engage. Yeah. So the point that I wanted to share with you under Dr. Bigman's supervision is some issues regarding the organization as a whole, but mainly focusing on 2 points. So first of all, we know that Dr. Bigman and everyone else, we know that the AUADS has a vision, about a vision, but at first, actually, we've noticed two major challenges, right? So, two major challenges that I will, bring up later on. But I think one, the big challenge that I mentioned is that we have to actually shift from, people or personality driven kind of framework to let's say a work focused system, because the AUADS is actually relying on the wide team that we are, but we have to also focus on delivery. That's actually will lay solid foundation for the organization. So the two major challenges. So we so far, I think there are two big challenges of our organization. First of all, the leadership vacuum. We know that our former president actually ended his term, and we are actually to fill back this term. But then, how to fill? For now, we based on last time meeting, we it was pointed out that Dr. Bigman should be the interim president, until we find a new president. But I think this is not very sustainable. So it's the first challenge. Second one is linked with our capacity building center. We do know, as a member of AUADS, we do know that we have a capacity building center that has actually also taken roots, but it is still lagging behind in terms of taking off. Things are not really starting, and it's a challenge because the capacity building center is actually a very great platform to engage the young people and also to see how we can empower, more importantly, empower the young people and get them acquainted with AU regulation, get them also get the diaspora to interact with the young people in the continent. We talked about the brain drain to brain gain to brain circulation. This is what the capacity building center is about, but it is actually not taking off. This is a huge challenge. So these two challenges are actually giving us a critical lesson. And what is that? Our organization, the AUADS, resilience cannot be tied to the capacity or availability of any single individual. So which means, we don't just have to rely on one or on someone, but it is we rely on the team. And what does that mean? I actually also devised some suggestions. So what is it that I'm trying to bring at the table? I'm trying to bring a commission-based model whereby, the instead of filling vacant title, let's say we don't have a president, or there's a position that is missing, we have to actually make sure that there is a commission-based structure that prioritizes the work over the position. And what is that meaning in practical terms? So I made a few suggestions here regarding, more importantly, the two challenges that I mentioned. As for the presidency, instead of having an interim president now for the time being, I think we should have a commission. And what is that commission? Like, say, executive guidance. Even in terms of the African tradition, we have a board of elder. We have 4 to 5 people that will entertain this presidency, that will actually keep it living. Let's say if one of them is not available, then we go to the other. I mean, it will make sure that the presidency will still keep living until we find the next president that will be serving for 2 or 3 years, depending on what we'll be voting on. So the name of the commission, we can also still agree. We can decide on that. But I gave 3 suggestions. It can be executive guiding group, it can be presidential advisory circle, or it can be a working commissions of advisor. So we can come with a better formulation, but the idea is to provide stable collective executive leadership and to ensure strategic continuity for the High Council. So for now, the AUADS needs sustainability. So we need to have this, panel, this rotating panel of 4 to 5 advisors that will be keeping our presidency, keeping engaging the whole AUADS until we find a president that will, take on the last president, but that will be doing more. So the commission will collectively assume presidential duties with rotating representation chosen for specific events based on relevance and expertise. So that, sometimes we're busy. Now we say, oh, we need the AUADS representative here, and then we say, oh, then we will have a council, 5 people. These are the 5 elders that are assuming, rotating. The council, the executive council, right? Then, if it's happening in America, then the member of the council who is actually closer, or who can actually assume that, depending on what will be decided in the executive kind of board, then you will go. Rather than first having, oh, the president is not available, then we have to look at this and that, so it will be very complicated. So rotating panel of 4 to 5 advisors, and the interim leadership, which is this panel, will remain until a candidate commits to a full-term service. So these 4 to 5 advisors who will be entertaining the presidency will remain until we finally have a candidate that will say, okay, well, I can assume presidency for 2 or 3 years, which means continuity. Continuity is very important, especially for this kind of big organization. So the second challenge that I mentioned is relating to the center, the capacity building center. And like the presidency too, we cannot rely on one, right? We do now have a director, and the director actually started also sending. We had already a first meeting, and we have a concept note. But then, we have to keep things going, and sometimes we're busy, and it's also very too much on the director. So maybe as the presidency, we need to have the implementing working group. So it is also a commission, right? Or you can call it a pilot program team, you can call it an implementation working commission, call it what you want, but the ultimate goal would be to activate actually its dormancy, right, and launch initial programs. So this commission that will be, consisting of very people that are very engaging, that are also willing to provide more, etc. So we as such, there should be a dedicated working group of a project manager and subject matter expert, which is also this working group. 4 to 5 people that will lead the whole center, because any actions, activities related to the center have to start, and we need to involve more people as at the commission, rather than relying just saying, okay, we're waiting for the director. Yeah, that's actually very not very sustainable. So the commission mandate is to start actually the engine, because when we already have events out there, we said during last meeting, we'll start virtual and move towards having a physical office and everything. But starting virtual means we actually do have to start. So we need to create operational plan, developing pilot curricula, and actually start activities relating to the center, which will operate again as the presidency that I mentioned up there, until we find a better formula for the director, the current or the next directors to be fully on to the task of the center. So these are the two commissions that are, the two suggestions that are brought at the table, that which address the two challenges that we're facing now currently, especially that Dr. Bima mentioned, that we are actually aiming at some positions at the African Union, and we need to go there with concrete kind of data. So in conclusion, I proposed this strategic restructuring it's actually a move towards a more resilient and effective organization, because we need to empower those two commissions, those two core commissions, and as such we will channel our collective energy, directing into the work that defines our purpose. So I think we have to move forwards united, not just by designing new people for old position, but into the work itself. The focus should be on the work, by building a system that delivers on our promises to the diaspora and to the continent. So far, this is the vague idea that I'm having to meet the two main challenges or the two main vacuums that we're facing. So yeah, I leave it at the table and let's hear what people decide, and if it's okay.
Okay. Can I thank you, Professor? Can I ask you to present the other proposal, and then you take the floor as to guide this the conversation and questions from our colleagues. So if you do the other presentation, because we have 7 minutes, and maybe everybody agree that we take a half an hour more. But
yeah, I think this is the main presentation, Dr. Bigman. I think this is the main, yeah. And
thank you. And then you take the floor to answer the questions, and then
okay, yeah, I'm here to answer the question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please. I see hands. Yeah, please open the mic and you can speak directly. I see Shirley. I see Lazar. So let's start with Shirley. Yes, please.
Hello. This question is really directed for Dr. Beekman. Seeing that it's projects that are involved, and I'm seeing that the possibility that these projects can be applied to the funding from legacy to the future funding, Dr. Beekman. So maybe it wouldn't be a grand amount, but it can help to kick off the ideas. That is my suggestion.
Yeah, that is a question for our financial responsible Dr. Angela. I think yes, can answer this question the best.
Because seeing that the foundation is registered in the Netherlands, then you have the right to apply for these fundings.
Maybe Sister Angela can give the answer on this, and that she can. Okay, is it good?
Okay, then Sister Angela is processing. Then we go to Lazar. So Shirley, if you can. Oh, okay, she's there. Okay, then go directly.
Greetings. I'm not quite clear on the question.
Miss Shirley, please, can you reiterate?
Seeing that this is projects that can be applied for funding, seeing that the platform, the foundation is established in the Netherlands, we have opportunity to apply to a specific organization called Legacy of the Future Funding, which they will supply a certain amount for certain projects like this. So maybe it wouldn't be the full amount that you will require, but at least the kickoff, so that we can start to get the ball rolling. Do you understand, Angela?
Oh, okay. Yes. The Legacy of the Future Foundation is based in which country?
In the Netherlands.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, I think that is feasible.
Okay, you have to act quickly though, because there's time slots that certain project will be closed. So I would advise you to go on the website and look at it accordingly, and then Dr. Beekman could apply for that.
Okay. Also, if you have a link to share, that would be great. I will Google, but if you have a link specifically to the opportunity, that would be helpful.
Okay, I will look for it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Then we go to Lazar, please. Open your mic and ask your question, or make your contribution.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to make a short contribution. I endorse all what has been said. I just want maybe to comment. First, I think there is a question of balance of power between the facilitators and their environment. Because when you are an individual, you come in your individual capacity and you want to establish from below the High Council or the Council to implant the Council. It can be difficult because you are confronted, especially in Africa, to the power of states, governments, and other organizations. So you can have your will, you want to implant the council, but especially in Africa, the space of the civil society is really weak. I don't know in America, but I'm sure it's the same problem. The governments takes all, and we are in a period where there is many authoritarianism in the state. So it's not to say that we must understand the poor progress of the people, but it shows that if you come in your individual capacity without certain institutional, financial backing, background, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. So the alliances with governments, with the African Union are crucial to progress. So I think the idea of a kind of presidential council is good. It's like, as you said, government in Africa is based on the council, not only it's a shared power. So this is we should have a roadmap. We should have a roadmap because we need because when you do it's the vision. It's really in 3 months we will have to do this and that, and we agree. We discuss it and we agree. Do we have the capacity to do this, to become this? And if you don't have, you have to change the vision, because Africa is 54 countries with 1 billion people. Do we, as a group of 10 people, do we have the means to achieve our vision? So when you plan, when you do strategic planning, objective with results, you can decide what really you are able to do. So I would like to add to this wonderful vision of Dr. Oliver, maybe a strategic planning. What will these commissions have to achieve within 3, 6, or 12 months? We have to precise that. So the team will address it, maybe reformulate or decide it, but at least we'll know what every commission will know what it has to do. And to end now, I don't want to be long because I thought the meeting was supposed to end at 4. We should be based on culture. We have means. For instance, the Rastafari group. I know Rastafarian is not reggae, but it is linked to reggae, and reggae is so popular on global Africa. Reggae is really popular. So, do we have the capacity to mobilize reggae, either reggae singers or reggae as a music, to make us known in the public space? We should use our means, and also when there are some crises, for instance, Sudan, today it's a big crisis. Sudan, Libya, the statute of African in Libya. So if a group, maybe the Israel group, speak openly about the crisis in Sudan, in Israel, in Libya, so people will say, oh, there is a group there of the 6th region. Who are they? and we gain power in the public space. So all this could be precised in the strategic planning. So I want to end here, and thanks, Oliver, and all the people for your contribution. Thanks.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Lazar, for your suggestions, and definitely we focus on deliverable. We will add that section that you mentioned regarding to, short, mid, and long term, for those commissions, definitely, because we should be having, as the executive, those who will be assuming or entertaining, that commission should actually be having these short, but also mid or even long term, goals that will be part of the roadmap. So thank you for your contribution. So any other contribution regarding to, feeling the two challenges that AUADS is facing that I mentioned in the document? Regarding any comments regarding the commission for the executive and the commission for the center, or any contribution, the floor is open. I think we can still allow maybe two questions or two contributions, and then I pass back to the floor to Dr. Bittman. So any more contribution? Yes, I see a CO bot. Sorry, I read what I see. So, and Empress Yesuri. Okay, so first CO bot, and we go to Empress Yesuri. So please open your mic and express yourself.
Thank you for the a great, nice presentation. I think Dr. Lazar took a few points which I was going to comment. Definitely about the roadmap. So I think it's a very good suggestion about the commissions. And I also want to just chip in to say, okay, one of the important criteria we've been assisted. Barry has been working very hard the last few months towards the accreditation of our organization. Because one of the criteria, at least based on some of the investigations we've done earlier, is that some organizations require those from us to make sure that we're dealing with it. My comment is really a comment, not so much a question, that one of the commissions, and I'm sure our chairman very well look into it, that we will address this accreditation issue very much more focused, given the fact that we need that to do so many things. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You came back on the roadmap, and you also brought the issue of accreditation. So thank you, well noted. Okay, and then we move to the next one. Was it Empress? Oh, I can't see.
Rastafari.
Empress?
Give
okay,
thanks.
Yeah, please. Yes, please. You have the floor. Thank you.
Give thanks. Yes, and my opinion is around what the brother say about the Rastafari communities in Africa. For us, it's very important and make note and certain things about the Rastafari culture, because the diversity in our nation is something significant. But the main point, the strong force of organize and centralize in our communities have this important of the role of Jamaica. The diversity in the diaspora, including Africa, make us more big than in population and in diversity, because we have a Bantu Rastafari, but we have also Nyabingi Rastafari. So right now we state in this position of centralize and organizing all the movement what we do global, because also we is a one community, the Rastafari global community. And reggae music for sure is an instrument what we use, and we can support in different activities. Also we can organize something to raise funds and to support any activity or any success or any situation what take a place in Africa. The Rastafari community can stay together working in a global aspect for conform something solid for this high council. And for us, I, Empress Jesuri North, is very important the participant and the important of the role what we do, because for sure we try to make click our participation here in the High Council able for all, in service for all. It's not only for Rastafarians, it's for all the diaspora, Give thanks, and I appreciate all the suggest and comment. We stay open for work in organization and centralize our ideas. Give thanks.
All right, thank you very much for also bringing concerns that in the Rastafarian community. So well noted. So at this point in time, I think everyone heard or saw the presentation on the two commissions to see how we can solve the two challenges, one of the challenges that we have. So before I pass the floor to Dr. Biman, I would like to know, please, make sign in the chat, or you can actually give a thumbs up. So are we all okay with the two suggestions made? Of course, we'll be adding some inputs, from the few people that spoke, about the roadmap. We'll mention that, and we will actually revise the document and resend it. But at this point in time, the document has to pass. So is it okay? Is it okay for everyone? You can give a thumbs up, or you can write on how many people are we with 14. So I expect 13, or including myself, I expect 14 responses, please. Let me put the full screen. So I expect 14 responses, please. So let's decide. Is it that we need commissions for the two, for the executive and for the center? If you're okay, I already heard from two, but please respond. I just see two, but we're 14 in the group. Yes, okay. The third one came. Are we all okay? Or you can also open your mic and just say yes. So we need the vote.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 4, 5, it's already
Yes.
5. Thank you. 6, 7. We still have 6 to go. Myself, yes. So we still have six people. 7, 8. Okay.
And myself.
9. Thank you. 9, 10. Okay, the remaining 3. 11. Okay, perfect. Then, Dr. Bigman, then we note that the document has been approved, but we need to add we need to add precisions concerning the roadmap, the short, midterm, so far, about those commissions. And we also had an issue on the Rastafari, but I think the issue of the Rastafari will go to the greatest, the greatest bunch of challenges that was mentioned today. So back to the document will be revised and sent accordingly, in short deadline. So back to you, Dr. Bigman. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mendo. Thank you for your. And when we talk about youth, this is one of our youths, and I'm so happy when I talk with the youths. Then I've noticed that yes, maybe within a year, within 2 years, I can give over and sit and look. And so thank you. And I'm also happy that all our comrades agree that for this new phase in the structuring and implementation of our goals. So what we promise now is to send the document again with the recommendations, and then you have a chance to again give some, maybe you think about it, so some advices. That will be great. And meanwhile, we will continue also with what we promise to what we promise in context of the Capacity Building Institute. And one of the issues that we have to accomplish is, for instance, the heading of these commissions. So okay, that is another phase. But before we quit, I would like to. I've seen one person who didn't get the challenge to respond, and that is Paulus. Paulus from Ethiopia. This is one of our delegates that we find to realize the expected result in Ethiopia. And thanks to my involvement during the Climate Justice Summit in Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is very important. Brother Paulus, do you want to say something?
Yes, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm very happy for today's discussion. I've heard a lot of good things, and I hope they will be implemented soon. And thank you for giving me this chance.
Okay, Paulus, thank you too. And let me also confirm that thanks to Dr. Angela, I was able to meet these people in Ethiopia. Paulus is also. Paulus, can you give some information, short, about yourself and why you are so interested in being a part of our journey?
Yes, I did the introduction last time, but again, my name is Paulos. I am a sociology student at Ethiopia in Addis Ababa University. I'm in my senior year or graduating year, and I'm particularly interested in the African Union 6th Region High Council because I wish to know more and contribute on the repatriation that the African people need right now, and I wish to contribute more on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. So I'm now to close the meeting. Not before I thank you all. Really, I'm so happy that we had this meeting. We call it an open heart meeting. The power that we share, the inspiration. I'm so happy. So I don't know if this is the last moment of this year, but we will see. I for myself, I think maybe we need one more meeting with regards to what the African Union is expecting from us, and that is something that has to do with the implementation of the 20 seats of the African diaspora into the ECOSOC. Marie Victoria, Sister Marie Victoria, do you want to close the meeting? Otherwise, I give Sister Angela to close the meeting with a prayer. Thank you.
Okay, give thanks. We just want to acknowledge the Most High Creator, the spirit of our ancestors that we brought with us to the meeting today to realign and re-energize and refocus on the work that we have ahead of us. We're living in peculiar, strange, and perilous times right now, and we do need one another. And so we want to move forward in the spirit of Ubuntu, not just in words, but in practice, in deed, and in embodiment. And that all the gifts that we have, our talent, our treasure, and our time, that we would just bring it to this circle for the advancement of the work that we're all dedicated our lives to doing. So I ask these things in the spirit of one another, the spirit of God, and maybe say, Amen, Inshallah, if you agree.
Ashe.
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 Amen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Close with thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Beekman. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rastafari. Give thanks, Dr. Beekman.
Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a very